Alright folks, welcome back to the B-29 Restoration Project. I am currently working on replacing or repairing the empennage of the fuselage. Okay folks, I've got this side, the first skin removed. As you can see, we got white foam, we got stuff, and we got denser stuff. I'm pretty sure this is just a lot of Gorilla Glue that has gotten very hard. It was not as easy removing this skin as it was like on the wings and whatnot. These skins are glued on really well. This particular area had no less than 4 different repairs done to it. It had the normal, like the roughly a full-size skin, and then it had a little square here, then it had another little square piece here, then it had another thing up here that you can actually see a little bit of it there. The break here actually started at the front of the square that was here and came to its corner and then worked its way down, which is coincidentally right where a seam is. It's just a butt joint. The entire fuselage is butt jointed. So what I mean by butt joints is you can see it right here. It's just a nice straight line, and then another where ends of 2 sheets butt together. Compared to like what I'm doing here, which is more of a scarf joint. Ideally a scarf joint would have some taper to it and not just angled like this, but for the thickness we're working with, really you're not going to get enough of a scarf in there to actually add enough strength to justify the headache of doing it. So it literally broke right at the end of a sheet here, and there was a repair. I believe this is actually a repaired portion here. And then there's another joint back here as well. Like there's joints just all over the place from where this is broken, and this has apparently always been is a potential weak spot all the time. So anyway, this one is ready to be glued on. I've got the skin made. Everything has been perforated. Since this is so dense, I took a Top Flight woodpecker, which just puts a ton of little dents and holes in the foam that's here, or I should say the glue that's here. If you don't have a woodpecker, you can really go around it with a very small nail, or an 16th inch drill bit, 1mm, something like that. It's just something to do a lot of holes in. Here we've got the other side. I went ahead and took the time to again remove the skin here. I've got the skin. This is also ready to glue in. This one had less repairs on it. There is one skin right here that goes just forward, well, basically to the front of the ventral fin, and then stops right here. And you can see the crack kind of came right across to the corner of that, came down the seam a little bit, and then worked its way back across, back into another joint right here. So this many butt joints all in one area, probably not the most structurally sound way to do it, but we can take our time now and we can actually fix this. So said this one to be ready to go on. Our next sheet will probably look something like this. It may go a little bit further forward, it may be the full length, or I may just leave it like this. I'm kind of leaning towards leaving it about the same size as this sheet here, and then the bottom sheet will come significantly further forward and a little bit further aft than this, and it'll also be more of a triangular shaped sheet. So we've now got 2 skins ready to bond on. It's almost dinner time, but I'm gonna go ahead and get these glued on. That way they can sit overnight, and then I can hit them first thing in tomorrow morning and start working on these side sheets. One thing I'm gonna try my best to do with this thing is eliminate the need to constantly flip it upside down and right side up. So I'm gonna do probably this sheet and the next sheet, and that's all that'll be done here, and then I'll get started on that left hand inboard wing section. Alright folks, now we got the first 2 replacement patches, or replacement panels here on the tail section. You can notice that they're not perfectly flush. It's really impossible to get them perfectly flush, so that's just something that'll get sanded out as we do the body work and whatnot on it. You probably noticed me using CA here along the tops. It's just because the sheet did not want to stay in position, so I had to make do with what I could do. There's not a whole lot of foam up here in this area. Well, there's some foam, but not much, and I made sure I put dots across the top so it didn't get too far down in there and try and melt any of the foam. So, but that's all I'm going to do for today. Y'all have a good one.